The first time we see them, they're in a truckload of sheep. It's not subtle. You know, they're dead. They're dead from the first frame.
You cold?
Yeah.
Good.
Principal photography started in Wales. We went up there first of all to do the thing when they're walking on the beginning of the film, actually. Then walking over the hills to the village with the slaughtered lamb.
First day on the set, I felt remarkably relaxed. Knew the lines and understood what was needed, and it was just about being natural.
There was a moment where Griffin had snot coming out of his nose, and he got the giggles, and he was waiting for me to say cut, and I didn't.
You know, you think to yourself, they'll never use this, but let's keep going because, you know, there's a lot of preparation and you don't want to be the one to stop in the middle of a take. And of course, that's the one they use, in which both Griffin and I are kind of cracking each other up.
My most vivid memory of it, though, was to be on these moors, and quickly between a setup, I had to use the bathroom, and there was nothing around except these vans. They were like little gypsy caravans. Suddenly the pickup truck hitched up to the van, started up, and just drove off with me in the back. And I'm bouncing around, and I couldn't speak to the guy in the pickup truck. And the guy drove me for like 45 minutes. It was like, where did Griffin go? And John, you can imagine, was just freaking out. And I could not get to the guy to tell him to stop. I think he was going to drive all the way back to London. And he pulled to a gas station, and I just banged on the door and went, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And he drove back to the set, and, you know, the whole crew was crazed. They were ready to shoot.
You're right, it is a pub. Okay, well, what do you say? We go in for a little food, huh? Drink, rest? The slaughtered lamb.
You know, it was a very important scene to set the tone of the movie and the, you know, kind of the evil, dark quality that that pub, you know, represented.
But whatever happens, it's your fault. Right.
All right.
Jack and David had to be outsiders in that community. And when we first see them, it was very important that they almost looked like they were astronauts on the surface of the moon, so that later when they appear in the pub, they really look like astronauts. They really look like they come from a completely different place. When people greet them and when they open the door, the entire pub stops and turns around and looks at them.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to see you.
I remember thinking, am I going to get away with this? Because it was so much like, you know, classic Western, where they go in and everyone turns and looks, the music stops, and, you know, the smoke in the air, and they look.
It was my first experience of walking up to a door, exterior, opening the door, and then 3 months later closing the door in a completely different place.
And we had to do it in two places, the exterior in Wales and the interior in the Black Swan, I believe, down in Surrey.
Look at that.
Yeah, what about it?
It's a 5-pointed star.
5-pointed star was not in the pub, and so I personally drew that up on the wall at the correct position, correct angle, and the rest of it was just regular pub stuff, but did obviously the choreography that went on in there with the dart playing and the movement and the storytelling by the one actor who tells the joke.
Here, Gladys, Tom, did you hear the one about the crashing plane?
It was very funny, almost funny at the time, and everybody laughed on the set.
First of all, I like characters in films telling jokes because, you know, people don't understand about a joke. It's never the joke, it's how the joke is told. Brian Glover, he was such a great character, and when he told the joke, you know, in that accent.
Remember the Alamo? A joke's out the Mexican!
The laugh he gets is a little big, but, you know.
Excuse me. Well, what's that star on the wall for?
You made me miss.
It wasn't a huge part that I had, but I do remember it being my character's moment, his time in the picture. And I knew that it was a significant moment, so I had to stay completely calm not to blow it.
I've never missed that board before. Jack, we better go.
I've been to a lot of pubs across England and in Wales and Ireland, and so I thought it was extremely authentic.
Go. Stay on the road. Keep clear of the moors.
The only disappointment about filming there was that the bar was closed while we were working.